Hi, I'm Rob from B&H, and in this video we're taking a look at a few keyboard controllers that make great gifts for musicians, especially if you're just getting started making music with a laptop or iOS device. With today's lineup, we're looking at 4 very portable 2-octave keyboards that use USB ports to plug into your Mac, PC, or iOS device. They're all in a very similar and very affordable price range as well. First up is the CME Pro XKey. This is a very slim and ultra-portable model that still features full-size velocity-sensitive keys with polyphonic aftertouch and only weighs 1.3 pounds. Like all the models we're looking at today, the stylish Pro XKey allows you to transpose the keyboard over a several octave range using Transpose Buttons. In addition, on the XKey, instead of the wheels we'd see on larger keyboards, there's a button on the side for modulation, say if you'd like to add vibrato to a sound, as well as pitch bend up and down buttons. All 3 of these buttons are touch sensitive, so the harder you press, the more modulation or pitch bend is applied, so that makes them a really viable alternative to using wheels, and of course, it saves space. The very little power it uses is supplied via the USB port. If you're using it with an iOS device, you will need the camera connection kit to connect either to the 30-pin or Lightning dock on your device. The Pro X can also be used with some Android devices as well, although with some models you may have to pick up a USB OTG sold separately. Very smart looking, ultra portable, and surprisingly playable, the CME Pro XKey is a stylish value for the laptop or iOS musician on the go. Next up is the iKeyboard 3 from Icon Digital. The design on this one isn't as slim as the XKey, and at 4.7 pounds it weighs a bit more, but the full-size velocity-sensitive keys have a feel closer to a traditional piano keyboard. Pitch bend and modulation functions are handled by touch strips beside the keyboard. The iKeyboard 3 also features a lot of additional buttons for hands-on control over features in your software or digital audio workstation. Transport controls at the top allow you to move around and loop sections in your song without having to constantly pick up a mouse. To the left of the keyboard is a touch strip for MIDI volume control over tracks in your DAW, with mute, solo, and record ready buttons also at your fingertips. The large encoder knob next to the LED display can also control parameters via MIDI, so it's a good choice to route to a parameter you adjust a lot in virtual and MIDI synths, like a filter's cutoff frequency, for example. In terms of compatibility, iMap software is included for custom MIDI mappings, and Mackie Control is on board for controlling Ableton Live, Logic, Cubase, and others, while Mackie HUI control is also built in for compatibility with Pro Tools. The Samplitude 11 Silver Icon Edition software for Windows is included to get you started if you don't already have a DAW. Beside the USB connection is a MIDI port, an optional power supply input if you're not using the iKeyboard 3 with a computer, and 2 1/4-inch inputs, one for a sustain pedal and the other for an expression pedal. The iKeyboard 3 in a nutshell, a lot of pro features in a small, well-designed controller at an excellent price point. This next controller is the Arturia MiniLab. The big selling point on this 2.3-pound mini keyboard is the Analog Lab software for Mac and PC that comes with it. The software features over 5,000 sounds from Arturia's virtual analog collection, including sounds modeled after vintage synthesizers from Moog, Roland, Sequential Circuits, and others. Parameters in the sounds automatically map to the encoders, giving you instant hands-on control over the sounds, and an overlay is included so you can easily see the mapping. Patches can be edited and saved to the MiniLab Library. Sounds can be split and layered across the keyboard, and effects are available as well. Just above the keyboard are 8 assignable backlit velocity and pressure-sensitive performance pads, switchable between 2 banks that are great for programming drums. They can also be used as transport controls in your software or for triggering chords for arpeggiated sounds. In addition to touch strips for pitch bends and modulation, to save space and increase the portability factor, the 2-octave keyboard on the MiniLab features velocity-sensitive mini keys, but you can get the regular KeyLab version with full-size, semi-weighted keys, either in 25, 49, or 61 key versions. The keys on the full-size versions also feature aftertouch, which the MiniLab does not, and the larger models offer additional controls, including faders. The MiniLab is a 1/4-inch Footswitch input on the back and can be used as an iPad controller. Just make sure you get the dock adapter. To sum up the Arturia MiniLab, software with 5,000 sounds, encoder knobs, performance pads, great price. The last 2-octave controller keyboard that we're looking at today is the 14-ounce ultra-portable QuNexus from McMillen Instruments. This controller features smart sensor keys that not only respond to velocity and aftertouch, but also respond to tilt. So you can actually rock the keys back and forth to add vibrato or filter changes or other responses depending on how you choose to map the tilt to your software. The keys feature blue and white LEDs with 16 levels of brightness. Pitch bending is done with a pad, and the keys will take a little getting used to if you're used to traditional keyboards, but less so if you're familiar with MPC-style drum pads. The QuNexus also features a poly pitch bend preset that allows each key to send expression information on its own MIDI channel for very expressive control over omni-voiced instruments. The keys can also be used to send other MIDI information, and the Ableton Live script available from the KMI website is a good example in that it uses the QuNexus keys to launch clips, control effects, and act as transport controls for Ableton Live. The included controller mapping assistant mode also helps you map the controls to other DAWs. Easy to carry but nicely constructed, the QuNexus also works with iPads if you pick up the iPad camera connection kit. It can also work with certain Android devices with a downloadable MIDI driver for Android, although I did not personally test this feature. Finally, the QuNexus offers CV and gate controls, so if you want to interface with older analog synthesizers, you can do that, which is an impressive professional touch for an inexpensive controller. So if you're looking for a more unusual, ultra-portable controller with extra expression potential, the QuNexus is definitely worth considering. So there's a look at 4 inexpensive, very portable controller keyboards that work with computers and iOS devices. Keep in mind, of course, that B&H offers many more controller keyboards, including larger models, many with weighted or semi-weighted keys if you're looking for less portable solutions. Please check our website or chat with one of our experts if you have questions. When you find the perfect controller for your needs, put it on your B&H wish list and share the list with friends and family so you get exactly the gift you want. I'm Rob from B&H, and thanks for watching.
Whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, B&H has the answers to your questions. Experience a world of technology at our New York City Superstore. Connect with us online or give us a call. Our staff of experts is happy to help.